Straight out to the lion's den. I was in court today, and I saw these jurors firsthand, 6 women listening intently. So who won the closing arguments and why? We will debate it now, beginning with Tanya Acker, attorney out of L.A.
I think the defense pulled it off, Jane. I mean, I think that they did a really masterful job of changing the subject in this case and of making it really narrow. I mean, look, this case, the reason why this case captured the nation's attention is because there are a lot of people who think that if Trayvon Martin looked like Britney Spears and George Zimmerman looked like Trayvon Martin, it would not have become that issue. Now, what the defense did is they said, we're not going to talk about all that stuff. We're not going to make it that big. We are going to narrow it down to the discrete moments of this fight. And I think that by doing that, frankly, they pulled off a victory for Zimmerman.
Wendy Murphy.
Well, first let me say that the very style differences between the prosecution and the defense is so cockeyed, because it's usually the prosecution that's very matter-of-fact and going through the elements of the crime and very monotone, and it's usually the defense doing the dog and pony show. Look over here, because usually the prosecutor has the strong case and the defense is trying to prove reasonable doubt. It's the opposite here. Now, I thought O'Meara was very mechanical, appropriate, respectful. I thought he did a decent job. He was a bit pedantic, I thought, at times, talked down to the jury. You could hear him at one point apologizing. I don't mean to scold you, because he knew he was sounding like he was scolding them. But he has the evidence. Look, the defense could have stayed home for this whole trial, and they still would win.
Frank Taffy, former neighbor of George Zimmerman and supporter of the defendant.
I agree with her. The most compelling part today were, well, 2 parts. One was when he brought the cement in, and number 2 was the 4-minute, I call it blackout, when the whole room went silent, which implied that Trayvon had over 4 minutes to get home. Once again, do we run to a threat or do we run away from it? And to me, that sealed the deal. Absolutely.